Hello and welcome to Wish You Were Here Today. Well, it's time to ignore that cold outside your front door and travel with us to some of the best holiday destinations in the world. And of course, we've got another week of holiday prizes to give away. And this is where today's competition winner will be going. Well, if you like the idea of going on that holiday, then you'd better answer this question. Calls cost just 25 pence and lines are open right now. So go on, pick up the phone and get winning that holiday. And of course, we'll let you know before the end of the show whether you have won or not. In the meantime, this is what's coming up. But first, we're off on a European city break, but we're not going to Paris or Prague or Amsterdam or any of the usual suspects. Now, you could never complain about not having enough to see or do in Budapest. There are 237 monuments, 223 museums and galleries, 35 theatres, 90 cinemas, 2 opera houses, 12 concert halls and nearly 100 thermal springs and medicinal baths. On top of that, beer's pretty cheap as well. And you've still got just enough time to enter today's competition. Here's a quick reminder of the question and where you could be going if you win. Well, as you know, calls cost just 25 pence and lines are open right now. But not for much longer, because we're going to be closing them soon to give us a chance to announce the name of the winner before the end of the show. In the meantime, let's find out what's still to come on Wish You Were Here Today. Welcome back to Wish You Were Here Today. Now, I think it's fair to say that most British people are fairly rubbish when it comes to learning foreign languages, i.e. we don't bother. Now, I was no exception. The limit of my Spanish used to be te quiero, which is I love you, which is sometimes useful, and dos veces per favor, which is always useful. But anyway, I decided to enroll on a language course to fill in a few gaps. However, the school I chose was in Spanish-speaking Guatemala. I went via Mexico City, as there are no direct flights to Antigua. Visiting Antigua is a bit like stepping into a Spain of 60 years ago. It's an unspoilt colonial town with over 20 churches and more than 75 language schools. So it's back to the classroom for me.
Hello. I am Susie.
Hi, I'm Ruth.
Did you do the exam that was in your package?
No, I haven't. See, I've only just arrived here and I've already done something wrong. The exam is to assess my level of Spanish. The answer is not good.
How did I do overall? Can I just check?
Oh, gosh. Shouldn't have looked at that. Meet my classmates. American Nancy, Aussie Lewis and British Susan. They're all a week ahead of me, though.
Nada? Médicos sin frontera. ¿Sí comprende? Ahora.
School is from 8 a.m. to midday, with a short break and a change of teacher.
They're going to have to guess what it is.
On lo pone en la cabeza.
Doesn't need a sombrero.
Yes, he would.
Doesn't need a sombrero.
Big bites, big cats are mad. Join us again in our remedial group.
I will. Well, I enjoyed that remedial session. That's fantastic. Oh, it really is a case of... I think I understood quite a lot of it, but I'm not really sure that I'll retain any of it. I don't even know what I'm doing this afternoon, but I could do just nestling down under a tree somewhere and learning some verbs. And I don't even know where I'm sleeping tonight. But the school arranges for you to stay with a Guatemalan family. I already feel like I've been run over by a juggernaut, a big Spanish juggernaut. I had 5 hours sleep last night, 4 hours solid immersion in Spanish. And now I've got to meet a very friendly, large family. Hola. Mrs. Lopez. Probably related to Jennifer, who knows? The family provide you with 3 meals a day, all part of your package. My room's quite small, it's very clean, very tidy. I feel a little bit exposed. I want to close the curtain and I want to close the door, but I also kind of feel that would be rude. And quite frankly, I don't know what happens next. Hola. 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 That's not intimidating, is it? Oh. ¿Dónde es?
Ese lugar, por favor.
Gracias, gracias.
De nada. Hola, Ruth. ¿Ruth conoce a toda la familia? ¿Conoce a toda la familia ya? ¿No?
Oh, God.
Ok.
No hablo español.
Poco español.
Poco.
Bueno.
Bon appetit. How do I say that's French, not English, but we say it?
Well, I don't today. Maybe I'll tell them tomorrow when I know how to say that. Muchos, muchos, muchos $. Porque estoy muy, 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 muy cansada. That's all I have to say. That's all I can say. And if you've no idea what I have just said, then you have a tiny little taste of what it feels like all of the time for me right now. I was lost, oh yeah. Buenas noches. Oh yeah. It's day 2 and Spanish nouns and verbs are starting to make sense.
Pero la fotografía es primavera o...
Primavera. No.
Entonces hace mal tiempo.
Day 3 and an excursion into rural Guatemala. It starts at the bus depot.
Going already? Fancy. It's quite snug. We're getting off. Oh, we're getting off. That's an experience.
I've come to a small village just outside Antigua to meet Don Filiberto and his family.
Hola, buenos dias. Crikey. Gentleman's got 11 children. It's a lot of mouths to feed.
Y regreso a las 7 de la mañana.
Wow, he gets up at 3 in the morning and then walks up the volcano, comes back at 9.
Students pay Signor Filiberto just £1.20 plus a tip.
Family are obviously used to this because this is a tour arranged by the school. But I feel slightly voyeuristic, but it's still fascinating to see, you know, how rural folk live.
Day 4 and another lesson.
Oh, this is like really, really humiliating part of the lesson. Now I've got to go around and ask strangers within the school what they're continuing to do in Spanish. And they look at you like, huh? Every time you ask, it's horrendous. Excuse me. Oh, God, I've forgotten it. Un momento, por favor. Completely forgotten what I have to ask.
Her weakness is her pronunciation.
Okay. Yep. ¿Qué sigues haciendo, por favor?
She's starting from a very basic level, and it's the vocabulary that she needs to learn more.
Ver a los estudiantes.
She said she's walking around and something else which I'm going to invent. It's my last day and I don't want to go home. I feel like I'm a member of this family. No quiero regresar a Londres.
¿No quiere regresar a Londres? ¿Y dónde quiere quedarse? En Guatemala.
Sí. I can't believe after a week I'm having these conversations. 5 days ago, all I could say was, I love you and 2 beers, please. And all the years I wasted at school just dribbling in and out of language classes. This is the way to learn languages. Oh.
Lela.
Yeah.
Leles o leles.
Oh, God. You got it? Yeah, because it sounds funny to have lelo. You have to put say instead of lay. Oh. You know, when you put an object rather than a object. Yeah, I'll miss it. I really miss it. I had no idea this was going to happen. This is really more public humiliation. Gracias por todo. Y ahora tengo mucho gomo. Hasta luego.
The end of a really fun week. Just 1 or 2 more weeks and I think I'd have really cracked it. I absolutely loved that trip. And if you're a photographer, you are spoilt for choice in Antigua. Now, Guatemala is one of the most popular places in the world to study Spanish, possibly because it tends to cost around 20% less for a language course than other Spanish-speaking countries. Now, British seaside resorts often mean things like crazy golf, fish and chips, amusement arcades at the end of the pier. But there is one resort that likes to think of itself as more genteel than jolly. Well, it all sounds very peaceful, doesn't it? But if you want a break from the serenity of Frinton and fancy a few of the more traditional seaside attractions, well, you know, it might be worth checking that your passport is still valid, because any second now we'll be letting you know the name of our competition winner. As for me, I'll be back again tomorrow with some more holiday ideas. See you then.